How long does it take to get good at producing music? And how long should it take? Well, I've been producing music for well over a decade, and I'm telling you right now that if I would have done things right at the start, my 10 years of experience could have been shortened down drastically. But that didn't happen because I didn't understand these three things that I'm going to share with you in this video. And hopefully, you can watch this video and you can learn these three things and drastically shorten down your time it takes to get good at producing music as well. And I really wish I would have learned these things, but I didn't until it was too late. So first off is there's a problem with that question, but I get this question a lot, which is how long does it take to get good at producing music? And the reason why there's an issue with that question is because good isn't a binary. It's not good or bad. It's how good are you? So you can't say, well, this is good and this is bad, which some cases you can. I'll get to that in a second. But it's what does good sound to you like right now? When I first started producing music, I was listening to these albums that I thought sounded phenomenal. And now I look back and I'm like, I don't think they actually sounded as good as I like. And so good is somewhat subjective. And so it's not this is good and this is bad. It is how good is this, or how good are you? So you need to really grab a piece of paper, grab a pen and paper right now, and write down this specific album is good to me. I wish I could make music that sounds like XYZ, and write that down specifically. And I want you to mark it, put a date on it and mark it, because that'll change over the years. I promise you that will change over the years. There's going to be those albums that just always kind of have a special place in your heart. But over the years, things will change, and the things that you thought sounded good before are not necessarily going to sound good afterwards. And it's not because they're good or they're not good. It's because your definition of good has changed. But in order for you to get good right now, we need to understand what good is to you. So write that down specifically. Now, I will say, you have to have a certain level of fluency. There is not good stuff. There's an entire playlist on YouTube, an entire category of YouTube of failed performances of The X Factor or American Idol. So and everybody agrees they are objectively bad. So there is an objectively bad statement there. So that was a bad performance. Everybody agrees. But then you get past that level of fluency, and then things start to become subjective. So there is not good stuff. But the problem is there's a thing called escape velocity when you're launching off rockets, which rockets will spend 75 to 80% of their total fuel just getting to that escape velocity where they can get into the atmosphere and then start orbiting at 1,000 miles an hour or however fast they orbit. And then it's just so easy for them at that point in time, because gravity's on their side. But to get to that point, to get to the escape velocity is the hardest thing they have to go through. And I'm telling you right now, if you just started producing music and you feel frustrated and you feel like this is the hardest thing ever, you're not wrong. It will get easier though. And I can just a little bit of hope. This is the hardest it will ever be for producing music, is right at the beginning, because you're trying to get that escape velocity. You feel like you're spending 80% of your time just trying to figure stuff out. It's so frustrating. It's so hard, and I totally get where you're coming from. Now, here's the thing. Some people, it feels like it was overnight. There's this 14-year-old kid in his bedroom making incredible sounding music, and you've been doing this for the last 6 months or 9 months or a year, and you're like, he just started this, and it just seems so much different than mine, and I don't understand why. Well, there actually is a reason why, and I'm going to get to that here in a second. But in order to explain this to you, I need to paint two different pictures of people in your head. So over here, we have Idol Ivan. Idol Ivan has 20 years of experience producing music. Pretty great. But he's only produced one song a year for the last 20 years. Now over here, we have ambitious Alvin, who started producing music a month ago, only 30 days ago. But he's produced a song every day for the last 30 days. Who has more experience? Be real with yourself. Who has more experience? Assuming that it took them roughly around the same amount of hours to accomplish and finish a single song, ambitious Alvin has 10 more songs, has 50% more experience than Idol Ivan. Because ambitious Alvin's been getting at it. He's been making music every single day. He's been getting more experience. It's not the years of experience, it's the amount of experience you fit into those years. I'm going to say that one more time. It is not the years of experience. It is the amount of experience that you fit into those years. I wish I could go back in time. Oh my gosh, I wish I could go back in time and tell that to my younger self. I probably wouldn't slap myself. That would be mean. That'd be rude. But but I would go like, look, man, just get as much experience in the shortest amount of time as you possibly can. Just keep making music. Just make something and then make something else. Just do it. Like, it's just not that hard. Just do it. Just make some more ideas. You don't have to finish them. You don't have to release them. You don't have to do anything. You just got to get experience. Get in the DAW, start making music, and start creating stuff. Go create. On my main channel, Producing in the Box, I say this all the time. Go create. Because I want people to watch my videos and go, I feel inspired to close out YouTube and go make some music, which is not what YouTube wants, by the way. But it's what I want for people that watch my channel. So, oh man, I'm getting myself all fired up. I wish I could go back in time and tell myself some of these things. If you're watching this video, I appreciate that you're watching already to this point. I make these videos for people who were like I was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So I really hope this is helpful. If this is helpful, subscribe or leave a like or just let me know in a comment below. I'd really appreciate that. I read all my comments. So Ambitious Alvin has more experience at this point in time. This is pretty obvious at this point in time. So we know that as long as they're spending the same amount of hours roughly, it's not the years of experience, but it's the amount of experience they fit into those years. So be more like Ambitious Alvin. Make more music, just make more. If you make a song every single day, at the end of a year, you're gonna look back and go, holy cow, this is incredible. I've made all of this music already? Like, I have 365 songs? Like, that's nuts. I mean, you don't have to do a song every day. I'm just saying, just try to just get more experience. Now, part 3. Then this is the third thing I wish I could go back and tell myself. Knowledge shortens the time it takes. The right knowledge shortens the time it takes. So we need to understand what good is. That's number 1. So good is not like good or bad. It is a continuum. It is how good are you. 2 is quality over quantity, but quantity creates its own quality. So you just need to make a bunch and make a bunch. And eventually that you're going to get so good, it would be unreasonable for you not to make quality sounding music. And then 3 is knowledge shortens the time it takes. And you need to have the right knowledge applied. So one of my favorite things ever is a quote from, I think it's Confucius, but it says, I hear and I forget, I see and I remember, I do and I understand. And so by having like application in what you're doing is just, that's what's going to make you better. But having the knowledge to do the right thing matters the most. If you just take action, eventually you'll stumble your way to get there. But if you're really trying to shorten this down and get making better music faster, you need a direction. You need a path to take. You need to know what to do. And then you need to apply that. So like you can watch all these YouTube videos and gather all this knowledge, but if you don't apply it, you still won't be making better music. But if you just throw a bunch of spaghetti at the wall, eventually you're going to find something that sticks, but it's going to take you a long time to figure out with trial and error. So if you want to shorten this down and you want to start making great music as fast as you possibly can, you need to have the correct knowledge applied. And so chaotic action isn't key. It's the direction. So here are my notes. I say driving from New York to California. You'll make it, but if you have a map, you can make it in an eighth of the time. So imagine like you're in New York State and you want to drive all the way to California. You know all you got to do is go west. You get there eventually. Like you're going to get there. At some point you'll get there. But if you have a map, you can get there in an eighth of the time, probably even like way faster than that. So you have a direction, you have a path. Someone has said, hey, I've gone the same route that you're going right now. Let me show you the way. Let me guide you. And so if you have a buddy in the passenger seat explaining the map to you, you'll get there even faster. Like I just don't really think people understand. I didn't understand this 10 years ago. I didn't know. Like I didn't have this I didn't have this knowledge to know which direction to go, and I didn't even really have a map. I was just trying everything. And so the YouTube videos that you're watching, even this one now, this is the map. But if you can actually have a mentor, if you can join an online community, I have a community of people. So I have this entire course on my main, this is all on my main channel. But I teach people how to produce music in 10 days. I call it 10-day music producer. And there's a community all baked into it as well, because I knew that just giving you the videos wasn't enough. You needed the accountability and the action. You needed the buddy in the passenger seat to get you there. So if you have a friend, if you have somebody that could help you with this as a mentor, or if not, see if you can join some groups, see if you can join some programs to really help you have that buddy in the passenger seat to get you that direction. And look, if you don't care about any of this, I'm assuming if you're watching to this part of the video, though, you really do care about starting to create the music that's in your head and getting it out there as quickly as possible and to the level of quality that you know your music deserves, then this is for you. But for everybody else, they can ignore this. But just find somebody and get that mentor to help you take that direction down. And so here's the thing. You're going to pay for that knowledge one way or another. And so it's either you pay for it in your relationships with people, and you pay for it in money by buying programs or getting coaching, or you end up paying for it in time. And you usually spend what you have or what you value the least. And 10 years ago, I valued my time the least because my time really wasn't valuable at that point in time. You know, I wasn't making a whole lot, didn't have a whole lot of money, so I didn't have a whole lot to invest in. But thank God I had a good relationship with another music producer who was able to help me through this. And so have the map. The YouTube videos that you watch is the map. But if you have somebody to guide you through, to help you, it's just gonna go so much faster. I wish I could go back in time and tell myself this stuff. But anyway, you're here. I hope this video was valuable to you. If you liked it, share it with somebody, or just leave a comment and tell me if you liked it or not. That's about all I have for you today. I really appreciate you. And there's gonna be a video over here. It's YouTube recommending it to you. Appreciate you for being here, and go create.